Hey everybody, and welcome to a quick little update video where I talk about what direction my channel is going to be heading the next couple of weeks. But first, before I talk about that, I want to ask you guys if you would like it if I would start streaming Dark Souls. Dark Souls 3 has come out, and I'm a big fan. I'm actually already quite far into the game. And now that my vacation has started, I actually have a lot more time to play that, and I'm a big fan. Then again, Dark Souls in general is not popular on my channel at all. It was already with Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, so I don't know if there's any interest in that, but if so, I will actually start streaming because I actually can play that game for hours straight, and you know, it'd be maybe fun if some of you guys join me, but again, I don't know if there's any interest in that, so let me know about that. But yeah, so my vacation has started. And that means that I have, again, time for old series to return. You might have actually seen that there was quite a lack of Let's Play content, EpicARMA content. That was because I had exams, and I do film school, so that means a lot of field recording, so I did not have a lot of time to play games. You know, the cinematic videos that I made were a perfect way to deal with time, because even though they were very time consuming, I could, for example, create the scenarios or write the scenarios while relaxing and listening to, for example, podcasts and that sort of thing. That's my main way how I relax. So in between like field recordings or testing, I did not actually play any other games, but you know, that really made me motivated and made me creative. So I really love that. And of course I want to talk about Star Wars Factions, which finally has started and has been such a huge success. I absolutely love your guys' reaction to it. It's been overwhelmingly positive. There are some people that have questions with or don't understand that it's an actual alternative universe thing where all of the eras and factions play in the same timeline, even though I explained this twice. Luckily some of you have actually explained this to them as well, even though I explained it twice as well, but I guess they haven't watched that video or didn't pay enough attention. But yeah, no, I absolutely love it. The creator of the mod actually also has watched it, has shown his appreciation of it, so that was a great deal for me. And you guys can expect the third episode of Star Wars Factions at the end of this weekend. I might actually change it to from Star Wars Factions 1, 2, 3 to just names of the episode or battles, like, you know, Clone Evacuation or Siege of like Hoth or that sort of thing, right? However, before we get to that, of course, also going to return to regular Men of War cinematics, and the next episode will be very unique setting. We will have Cowboys and Indians. Here's a little bit of a sneak peek, and I think it's going to be very cool. Up until now, all the Men of War cinematics have been unique settings like Vietnam, World War I, World War II, modern setting. Of course we're going to return to old scenarios as well. We're going to do a different scenario in Vietnam or World War II. We got several requests from you guys, like a police one or a zombie one, World War II requests, so we're going to do them as well. Do keep in mind that it's very time consuming, so you know, it might take a while before they actually go up there. And I get quite a few like suggestions or requests at a time. But yeah, no, definitely expect more of that. I think definitely also in the vacation I'm able to do at least 2 per week of the episodes. Maybe if I push it a little bit harder, I can do 3 cinematics per week. But so I thought might be a good format would be per week 1 episode of Star Wars Factions and then 1 episode of just a regular Man of War cinematic. The regular cinematics, of course, take less time to make because they are a scenario in and on their self, which means all of the recording is done in the same map. Whereas with Star Wars Factions, I need to create several maps, several scenarios, incredibly time consuming. You know, takes several days to do. So we'll definitely do that. Of course, we also have the beach landing, which of course we need to continue because that was only part 1 of 3. I might sometimes make short story driven scenarios like that. I actually really wish I could get my hands on the Halo mod from Man of War, because god, that looks sick, and I would love to make a Halo mod there, especially because like Man of War really has gripped me. I've always been a fan of this, but never really delved into how cinematic you can actually make videos look. You know, I really also think the cinematics make it unique to my channel, to where, you know, what I first did with the Man of Mayhem series, you know, it was playing, but it kind of, it felt too much like EpicARMA in that way. And not as cinematic, since the graphics aren't that great. But with this, it's actually really unique, and not a lot of people do this. So that's what I really like, and I also really like being creative. Now, because of this, I was also thinking of doing some cinematics for other games. Of course, I don't want to get too much up my sleeve, because that might be, you know, too much to deal with. But for example, I was thinking of making a short cinematic for a Total War game. As I said before, when I was watching for or looking for Man of War cinematics, I saw this really cool Total War cinematic that somebody made with a World War I mod, and since World War I is actually something that's very popular on my amongst my viewers, I was actually thinking of maybe making that as well. I was actually also thinking, it sounds weird, but making a cinematic with GTA. I was looking at a video the other day of this really cool mod where they had like prison life, and like you could walk through the prison, and there were these different gangs in the prisons working out, blah blah, and then they had a prison riot. And I was thinking, oh my god, it would be so cool to have this in like cinematic, and they have like the Rockstar editor and everything, so that's actually pretty easy to do. Or there was also a different video where they had, and keep in mind, this was all not cinematic what they did, they just let's play this, but there was a mod where they were SWAT in the city, and they had the riot mod out there as well. So all the pedestrians and all the civilians rioted and used weapons, and it was total chaos, and they had to get out of the city or see how long they could hold. And I was like, oh my god, that would be also very cool as maybe a 2 or 3 part story where you start out at the beach and like you follow this group of SWAT characters out of the city. Now, I have zero mod experience with GTA 5 though, so I don't know if I'm able to do that in 1 week. Because the 1 week thing is that in 12 days... Hold on, did it start? Yeah. In 12 days, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to travel through Japan for 2.5 weeks. Which, of course, means I'm not able to record or make any cinematics. Because of that, I'm going to push myself a little bit harder to have, you know, more cinematics ready. But once I'm on vacation, expect not to see as many cinematics, but I'll try to get it to where I can at least upload 1 cinematic video per week. Like I said, I will be gone for 2.5 weeks, so I'm hoping like to get 2 or 3 extra cinematics done. Do keep in mind though that these will probably be Man of War cinematics, not necessarily Stars Factions, since that is so time consuming. But again, I don't know. I would love it if I get Stars Factions done every week. That would be a nice thing. But because of that, of course, to fill up the other time, regular series like EpicARMA will return. To be honest, EpicARMA has shown some fatigue. I am not impressed. I've said this a few weeks back with the mods that are being released for EpicARMA right now, or for Arma 3 right now. There was a World War II mod that got cancelled the other day. The Star Wars mod got cancelled. I mean, the only mods that are really showing good active things are actually the Vietnam mod. I actually want to do something there soon as well. Zombie mod has seen some very good progression, and other than that, not a whole lot is going on. I want another update for the Halo mod very soon, hopefully. But yeah, not a lot going on. That's actually also why I love Man of War so much, is that there's so many mods out there, so much creativity going on. It's so freaking cool. You know, again, as I said, it's going to be, my next scenario is going to be Cowboy and Indians. You know, there's the fucking there's the American Civil War mod cinematic that I did. There's so much out there, and it all works great, right? So Man of War really is one of the best games when it comes to modding, definitely. And then finally, I want to talk a little bit about the Let's Play scenario, or Let's Play format itself. Of course, now that I've started the cinematic videos, quality-wise, of course, they are quite a bit higher than Let's Plays, right? Let's be honest. Let's Plays are, you know, qualitatively you know, not that high. I mean, you play a game and you upload it and that sort of thing. Now, the Let's Play scene in general has seen some change. I see in a lot of channels that did regular Let's Plays without a lot of editing have started to do editing to make it more, you know, to spice it a little up, to make it not as dragging or boring. And I was actually thinking of doing that as well. However, I was thinking, well, I'd rather put my effort in editing my Man of War cinematics or other cinematics than actually, you know, editing Let's Plays that you know aren't quality all that high. But then again, I do still love to do Let's Plays, and people have asked, you know, for me to Let's Play certain games, so I do want to continue that. So I was thinking about what format to do there. So I was thinking to actually maybe either live stream all the single player games that I do. Now there might be some very popular ones out there. There might also be non-popular ones like RPGs or whatever. But if I do that, instead of having, you know, to spam you guys with like episodes each day, what I can do is I can play for like 2 or 3 hours and then have that stream be on the channel, and then maybe do that 2 or 3 times a week, and then get those games out there. Another thing I was thinking about, because I do like the 20-minute format, is instead of making every episode public and appear in you guys' Subbox, have every 5th episode. So the very first episode that's going to come out is going to be public, but then episode 5, 10, 15, 20 is going to be public, and the 4 before there I'm going to set on hide. So actually it will become public and viewable, but you guys won't be spammed in your Subbox, because I think that is a big issue there. I'm not too sure yet what I'm going to be doing that with that though. I might be testing out the you know, make every 5th episode public and then see if that kind of works or not. You know, starting a second channel and doing Let's Plays there is not really an option, because then, you know, you always have the one channel that gets neglected, etc., etc. And it's also because I definitely don't want to be, you know, a channel that has a lot of like following or stuff for one thing. Yogscast had that problem where they were all about you know, Minecraft, and then when they started doing other stuff, they didn't really like it. And of course, in the beginning, there was the danger that my channel was only going to be Star Wars Battlefront, but now you have other stuff as well, like EpicARMA. There's the D-Daily special, so it is now kind of varied in terms of that. And then there's the regular Let's Plays that are there for just people who want to watch that sort of stuff. Speaking of Star Wars Conquest, that's also coming back, of course. Again, I didn't have a lot of time to play regular games, so that's so you guys can expect that as well. And you might actually even see Battlefront back, because there's a new format that I might try, which actually works well. I've been, of course, I haven't done a Battlefront review for a while now, but I've streamed it, and I'm really, really liking it again. You know, I was a little bit tired after like 300 map reviews and that sort of thing. And there have been really cool maps out there. You know, things like the First Order mod, etc., etc. And it's of course a little difficult to see what are the interesting mods since I've stopped my since I've done my last Battlefront review. So Razax, who I do some co-op stuff with, co-op Let's Plays, but he's also the creator of the Starship Troopers mod for Star Wars Battlefront, or the Zombie Wave mod, is going to provide me a list every time, every 2 or 3 weeks, of these mods for Battlefront that are interesting and worth checking out, and then I will do my reviews on them. And I think that would be actually very nice and very cool to keep it going, because that is always a big issue. It's like finding them, but also finding what's worth mentioning and worth talking about, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna give. So expect. You know, not as many spammy videos as always, but expect higher quality. I think that's really something that will be very, very cool. Is, you know, get the quality up, and with these cinematics, that's really something that you know, that I can get, and I feel so motivated to do that. So yeah, again, finally, my final word is I appreciate all the support you guys are giving for my cinematic series. If you know any other game that has like a cool like cinematic feel to it, or where like you can make machinimas quite easily, let me know. Like I said, you know, there's GTA, there's Total War. It's not actually all the Total War games have that. It's from Empire Total War where it's kind of easy. But yeah, no, that's I love making machinima. Of course, I've done some EpicARMA stuff with Raptor Wars. Maybe get back to making some cinematics with Arma as well. You know, maybe a zombie story there or not. I don't know. We'll see. I'm absolutely loving the cinematic stuff, and you guys do too. So thank you so much. I appreciate. Like I said, I'm not able to talk to you guys directly in those videos, but do know that I appreciate you guys' support so much. So thank you guys, and I will see you guys in the next update.